Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Macy Gray will compete in NBC's American Song Contest, which premieres Monday as an American version of the successful Eurovision Song Contest. I spoke with Gray in 2018 when she performed at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Supper Club in Bethesda, Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us, Macy.
How you doing?
There were so many people that wanted to come that they had to add a second date here. What can we expect to hear when we come out?
Yeah, I just we have a new album coming out this fall, and so we're gonna be touring, and you're gonna hear it on the radio. It's gonna be a busy second half of the year, and so I don't know. We're gonna have a great time though in Bethesda. My band, we're going to have a ball. It's going to be like the biggest party you've ever been to. And I can't wait because actually we haven't played there before yet.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's a nice little intimate venue. I think you're going to enjoy it. You have one of the most unique voices that I or any of us have ever heard to come along in a long time. Did you always have that signature rasp as a kid? I know you took piano lessons, but when did you first started to notice, like, all right, my voice is actually kind of unique here?
Just when I was little, because it was when I was younger, my voice was super high pitched, like really like. So like people were always mocking me and calling me names and laughing and stuff. So I knew my voice was. I don't know. I knew it was different. I didn't think it was like unique or I could do something with it till much later. But
gotcha.
But it was always kind of, like a peculiar sound to it.
Gotcha. Is it true that did I read somewhere that you discovered the name Macy Gray, like the stage name, by a bike accident you had as a kid? You saw it on a mailbox?
Yeah, I was riding my bike. I fell down. I looked up, and the mailbox said Macy Gray. That was it.
So that you just logged that away in your memory and thought I'd bust it out later in life? You came back around to that?
Yeah, so like all through school, we would have to write stories and stuff. I would always name one of my characters Macy Gray. And then when I joined this band in college, this rock band, and everybody had to make up a name to be in the band. And so I said Macy Gray.
That's so great. Is it true also that I know you went to school for what was it, screenwriting maybe? But you got into music. I know you were doing some songwriting, and then you had to fill in for a friend in the recording studio one time. Is that true too?
Yeah, I was writing songs, like writing lyrics for songs, and so I would write the lyrics, and then someone would come in and sing them, and so she kind of stopped showing up, so I had to sing the songs just to show everybody how the song went. And so I had all these little tapes with my voice on it, and then that was the beginning.
Awesome.
That's how I started singing.
So you started singing in some jazz clubs and things around town. How did you actually get seen and signed to the label for your first album?
Well, back then it was all hustle. It was like playing clubs and mailing your demo tape out to labels and stuff like that, and going all over town. Putting stickers of your band all over the place. It was a different kind of hustle because there wasn't all that internet and Instagram and stuff, but it was more just playing a lot. I was out in Los Angeles, and they have all these venues on Sunset that a lot of new bands go to and play because they know all the labels hang out there. So me and my band were just always over there, And then one day we played this place called the Roxy, and a guy from Atlantic came, but he was coming to see another band. And he came early, and we were playing, and then he talked to me after, and I got a record deal like 2 weeks later.
That's so cool. And, of course, that debut studio album was On How Life Is. We'll never forget it. And, of course, the single I Try won the Grammy for you for Best Female Pop Vocal, and it's lodged into all of our memories all these years later still. How much did that truly change your life?
Well, it changes everything, because suddenly you're on the radio and people know who you are, and I got to, I had never been out of the States before, except for to go to Canada. So I went all over the world, and I don't know, you just see all this stuff you never saw before.
Well, why do you think that song connected so well with so many people?
I think lyrically everybody could relate because everybody has that situation or that relationship where they're always talking about they're going to leave it or they're going to change it, and you wake up the next day and you're not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to get out of that cycle sometimes and take that leap. You try to get out.
Yeah, you try. Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I know shortly after you started acting in some movies and stuff too. Like you said, that song and that album changed everything. You start getting some movie roles. Tell me about working on Training Day. I know Antoine Fuqua cast a bunch of musicians. Snoop was in it. Dr. Dre was in it. You were in it. What was it like sitting there on set and being with Denzel freaking Washington and Ethan Hawke? Like, that's a huge deal.
I know. It was so wild because I was a huge Denzel fan, so to be sitting there right there, like, talking to him like he was my boy, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. It was, that was wild, because I wasn't expecting that, so, I don't know. I think it was my first movie, and, I had no intentions on becoming an actress or nothing like that, so it's different when you don't put all that pressure on yourself, like you want to be the best actress in the world and all that stuff, or when you just go do it because it's fun and because you get to go hang out with Denzel, So it was that kind of vibe for me, and I was loose, and so I think that made it doable for me because I wasn't all, like it wasn't all intense to me at the time. But now, of course, that's all different.
Right.
But,
yeah, right after that, you didn't you get involved with a bunch of more movie projects came for you, too. Wait, remind us what you did on those.
I was in Spider-Man. I was in a movie called Paperboy. I was in For Color Girls. I was in I've been in a bunch of movies. So I love acting. It's just, I tour quite a bit. My music, and I'm constantly making records and in the studio, so that's my number one, and I've had to pass up on some stuff because I'm doing stuff with my music. My number 10 album is called Ruby. It's my favorite album by me. It's amazing. I can't wait till you hear it. And I know you guys are gonna play it like crazy on the radio. So you're gonna hear it. It's amazing, and trust me, you're gonna love it.
Awesome. When's it come out again?
This fall, September.
Okay, awesome. Well, in closing, if our listeners have been hearing this, they're jacked about your show at Bethesda Blues and Jazz. Why should they come out? It's a simple question, but I like ending the interview with that. What can they expect if they come out? Why are they going to have a good time?
Our shows it's just like a big party. It's just everybody comes, and it's just loose. You get to be yourself, and you get to scream and dance and sweat, and it's just a party. It's like going to the best party you've ever been to.
That's so awesome. Well, you've been more than generous with your time. We will let you run, everybody. Again, it's Macy Gray at Bethesda Blues and Jazz on Friday and Saturday. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us on Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.